Hey everyone, my name is Mars, like the planet, and this is Housewarmin. Me and my partner have just purchased our very first home, so if you're interested in design, homemaking, and figuring it all out, make sure you subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking all about the miniature Schnauzer. Now, if you did not see my last two videos, I have a miniature Schnauzer. His name is Cole, and he just turned 6 months. Now, while I have shown you my personal routine caring for a miniature Schnauzer, today I'm just going to talk about the breed in general. So I have raised 4 miniature Schnauzers, so I'm really going to just tell you my experience with the breed, and I've also had a lot of friends that have also had Schnauzers, and I'm going to tell you their experiences and just see what is the commonality between all of the dogs. Like every single breed, every dog is different, and if you see something is off with your dog or weird, I would always consider speaking to a professional or a vet. I am just a lonely person on the internet, so I am only speaking from my experience and my research from having miniature Schnauzers. So first, if you are interested in getting a miniature Schnauzer, whether you are a single person or you have a family, miniature Schnauzers are the smallest of these Schnauzer breeds, and they are great family dogs. They are very robust dogs. They are very energetic. They do great around kids or just being with a singular person. But I do think that there are a lot of pros and cons when it comes to having a miniature Schnauzer, so let's get into it. So the first thing that I would say, the reason why I have only had miniature Schnauzers in my life is because Schnauzers do not shed. Like a poodle, they have hair, they do not have fur. So while a normal dog's hair will just grow and fall out, a miniature Schnauzer's hair grows and grows and grows. So I do not have any experience with having dogs that shed, and honestly, I forget that dogs shed, and that's just because I'm so used to having a dog that does not shed. But on the flip side, when you have a dog whose hair grows and grows and grows, they do require a lot of grooming and a lot of brushing and maintenance. Now, while this is not a dog whose hair is going to get knotted up in the first day, you want to make sure that you have them accustomed to being petted, to being touched, to having their nails clipped, to having their hair brushed out. Because if you have a dog that is not trained with being touched by a groomer, or by yourself, it can really lead to disaster. It can lead to frustration on your part, and it can also lead to frustration on the dog's part. So I would say the very first thing you need to do when you get your miniature Schnauzer is get them accustomed to brushing and have a really good brushing routine. I also will say that with their hair, yes, it is very, very cute that their hair grows long and they have their cute little beards and mustaches, but when their hair does get longer, it can hold on to a lot of odors and smells, as well as when they are using the bathroom, it can get caught in their fur, and then that smell can linger. We've had a lot of times where we will need to trim out their private areas just so it does not smell. I think that is a problem that I have faced a few times. Also, underneath their belly, when they go outside, they rub in the grass and things like that. They can get all kinds of things stuck in their fur that you're gonna need to pull out if their fur is not detangled well. And trust me, I have been there where my dog has been completely tangled up because it's been outside, it's been rubbing around in the grass, in the mud, in the dirt, and we fully needed to shave down our dog. So you wanna make sure that you are really, really paying attention to your dog's coat and making sure that they are clean and detangled. Schnauzers also are very good family dogs because they are super playful, super energetic. If you drop them on accident, they are definitely one that are just get back up and keep running. But I will say that they do, like I said, have a lot of energy. These are dogs that you're gonna need to take outside. You're gonna need to have them walk around. You're gonna need to have them playing fetch and running outside in the yard because they do happen to have a lot of energy. Now, when they get a little older, they will calm down and mellow out just a little bit, but one of my Schnauzers is almost 13 years old and he still runs around the yard at full force. These are not dogs that are just going to mosey on around the yard and not do anything. My 13-year-old Schnauzer can lay up all day sleeping next to us, but then when he's outside, he is zooming around the yard and playing with all the other dogs. So these are dogs that are really, really energetic, and you're gonna need to tire them out, and you're gonna need to make sure you're walking them. I will say that obviously on the flip side, if you are going to be walking your Schnauzer and having them outside, remember that Schnauzers are very reactive dogs. These are dogs that will bark bark a lot. They are very vocal because they were bred to be ratters. If you do not know what that is, that basically means that they were bred to catch rats. So since these dogs were bred to go out, sniff out rats, and bark when they found them, they are going to be barking. They are very vocal dogs, as well as since they are very energetic. When you have a vocal dog paired with the energy that a Schnauzer has, you really have to train them well. You need to train them how to walk on a leash. You need to train them how to be around other dogs. I've seen that a lot of male Schnauzers have a lot of aggression. Now, while they will not go out and start biting and attacking people or anything like that, they do bark a lot. They are very vocal inside and outside, whether there is a threat or not. Schnauzers just are barkers. That's what they do. They are notorious for barking. So you really want to make sure that when you first get your Schnauzer and you're getting them into a good routine, that you are practicing having them on a leash, that you're practicing having them outside around other people, that you're practicing them not barking their heads off all the time. You really want to make sure that you're just getting them accustomed to a routine, and that just makes it easier for you to be able to take them to the park or the dog park or on a walk without having this barking loud animal attached to a leash that is just going crazy. I promise you, I have been there, and if you really don't get ahead of it early, you're really going to have a dog that is just going to have to suffer and stay inside, because I promise you, I've been there where I can't even take my dog on walks because they're barking so much, they're screaming, they're panting, they're choking themselves, and you really don't want that for your Schnauzer. The next thing is that while you are going to have to train your Schnauzer to be, a friendly, outgoing, approachable dog, Schnauzers are very, very intelligent, so they can learn tricks and commands very easily. We taught Cole to sit maybe in about 30 minutes. Within the first few days that we got him. He really understands commands. When we tell him or we ask him, does he need to go outside to the bathroom, or we tell him it's time to go to bed, he definitely understands what's going on. And so he is very, very smart and very intelligent. Even when we start to put our shoes on, he knows, okay, they're about to leave, they're about to go to the door, they're about to walk out, so maybe it might be time to go to bed. So another thing that leads me into is that Schnauzers can be very stubborn. If you have had a Schnauzer before, you can empathize with me. Schnauzers can be very stubborn. They are very, very smart, and so they know how to use that to their advantage. A lot of times they can hide under the sofa. They don't want to move. They don't want to get up when it's time to do commands, or when it's time to get up, or when it's time to do things they don't want to do, like take a bath or go to bed. They can easily just put their feet down and say, I'm not going, I don't want to do that. And so they can be very stubborn and start to ignore you, but that's just because they're so smart and they truly understand what's going on. Schnauzers also have many different types of personalities. One of my dogs is very energetic and outgoing while inside the house, but outside of the house, he is a panicky mess. I have another Schnauzer that is cool and laid back and likes to just sleep all day. But when he's outside with us, when he goes to the vet, he's just like the perfect little dog. I love bringing him outside. And then the puppy that we have, Cole, he is super, super fun to be around. Of course, he's a puppy, so he loves to run and jump and play. And he's just so cute and so adorable. So I said this to say that all Schnauzers do develop their little personality, and you can see it definitely coming through. Speaking of puppies, Cole is 6 months and he is still teething. That is something you do want to be aware of when you are getting a puppy, is that they are going to teeth and they are going to lose their teeth. So we definitely saw when Cole was teething, he has those little tiny baby teeth, and I know they hurt a lot, but eventually when they get around the 5-month or 6-month mark, you can start to see their little teeth start to fall out. And we did collect a couple of them because we thought it was just so cool to just see his teeth falling out, and we start to see his big teeth start to grow in. Now, just like a baby, that is very uncomfortable for them, so that is why they're biting. I know it's kind of frustrating when they're biting on you and biting on your clothes and pulling on you, and it does hurt. So I would say to have a lot of toys, a lot of chew toys for them to ease their little gums. So when you have your Schnauzer puppy, remember all of the traits that I just talked about. They are teething, they are very rambunctious, they are intelligent. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of enrichment for them. These are not dogs that that are gonna come home and just be couch potatoes with you. You're gonna have to give them a lot of enrichment. I like to give my dogs lick mats. You can buy them at any type of pet store or Walmart or something like that, but I just like to put peanut butter or yogurt in them, and that just kind of gets their nose going, that keeps them distracted for a little while. I also like to take an old t-shirt, I put dog treats in it, and then I roll it up and tie it into a knot, and that definitely encourages their scent work. Remember, they were bred to be ratters. They love using that little nose of theirs, and then they can easily play with that for a while. I know sometimes we think, oh, here's a ball, okay, you know, go play with that, but we really want to make sure that we're enriching them and making them use their brain to have fun. Schnauzers are pretty healthy dogs. I know some breeds are predisposed to a lot of different medical conditions, but I will say that Schnauzers do live a very long time. Right now, 2 of my Schnauzers are 13 years old and they're still going good. At 13, one of them is deaf and one of them is having a little bit of eyesight trouble, but that's just expected when you have a senior dog. But other than that, he is still up and kicking. You want to make sure that you have them on a regular vet schedule. I bring Cole right now to Vetco, which is an affiliation of Petco. They provide vaccinations and heartworm medication and things like that inside the Petco store, so it's really easy to just make an appointment and go in. If you are not able to see a vet right away, depending on your situation, we also make sure that we have all of his vaccinations up to date, as well as making sure that he is on heartworm medication. One of the Schnauzers that I had when he was little, his name was Domino. He had heartworms, and so we want to make sure that we are just keeping up with that medication. Here in Louisiana, we have a lot of mosquitoes. It is very hot, so you want to make sure that you're protecting your dog just in case they get bit by an infected mosquito, and heartworm medication can definitely do that. But like I said, make sure you're talking to a professional about this. Because Cole is only 6 months, we cannot have him on a regular heartworm schedule yet, because they cannot test for heartworms, the actual disease, until the dog is 7 months. So next month we will actually bring him to a vet to get tested, and then we will have him on a monthly regular heartworm schedule. Although Schnauzers are very healthy, remember that they are ratters, so they're going to use that nose, and so they can easily get into trash, they can eat spoiled food, they can get into things that they're not supposed to in the yard. So you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on your dog. A lot of times our dogs get in the trash and eat things they're not supposed to eat, which can make them sick and throw up. A lot of times they're out in the yard just chewing on whatever they can find, because they're puppies and because they're sniffing it out, because that's what they're bred to do. So you really do want to keep an eye on your dog. I will say that Schnauzers overall, Schnauzers are a great breed of dog to have. I am pretty biased when I say that because I've had 4. I know so many friends that have had Schnauzers as well because they don't shed. They're great family dogs. They're fairly healthy and they do live a long time. But I do want to say, like I say in every video, if you are not truly ready for the commitment of having a dog for the next 10, 11, 12, 13 years, do not get a dog. It is very traumatizing to a dog to have to rehome them when you feel like you cannot take care of them. Yes, puppies are so cute and we love just seeing them and picking them up and thinking it is so fun to have a puppy. But remember that puppy is going to need a lot of training and conditioning and making sure that it grows up to be a nice and healthy dog. You do not want to have a dog that is reactive or growling or barking incessantly or biting at people or biting at other dogs or can't be walked on a leash, or you can't groom it properly or anything like that. You really don't want to have a problem dog. And the reason that a lot of these Schnauzers grow up to have such problems is because their owners really don't train them. A lot of people tend to get Schnauzer puppies and just put off the training and say, oh, we'll get to it one day, oh, don't worry about it. Training, grooming, all of those things are things you need to start from day one, or you're really setting yourself up for failure when it comes to Schnauzers. These are very intelligent dogs, but they do need a lot of training, but they are so intelligent, so they're just going to pick it up so quickly. They just need a little bit of guidance. But once again, like I said, since Schnauzers are so smart, they're really gonna figure out how to get away with a lot of things, and you really don't want a problem dog in your home, especially if you have young kids or people coming around. That is what I tell everybody, because I do love Schnauzers, but I know that they are just not an easy breezy type of breed to have. You do have to put a little bit of time and effort into raising them. But with that being said, if you have any questions or any comments about owning a Schnauzer, or if you're considering buying one, please leave the comments down below. I post new videos every single Wednesday, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And now that my channel is monetized, please watch the ads on my videos. That truly helps out my channel. If you didn't like the video, please leave me a comment down below and tell me why. But I will see you guys next week. Bye!